We must never forget the loss, destruction, and horror caused by this atrocity. This is not a celebration. Ashe. This is a crime scene. We have to bring our own yellow tape to expose and expel that same spirit that murdered over 300 Black bodies.
I'm attorney Demario Solomon Simmons. Law is my ministry. Justice is my passion. We seek justice and reparations for the survivors and the descendants of those who suffered the massacre. It's real simple.
The way we got involved was Demario reached out to get help on an intellectual property issue about the misuse of a likeness from the massacre. And we said we'd be happy to help on that project, but we said, is there anything else we can do?
It was a lot of a David versus Goliath situation where Demario and his small firm was up against the City of Tulsa, the Chamber of Commerce, and the other defendants that were basically taking a broad sort of scorched earth defense of this case, and he openly welcomed Schulte joining the cause.
It's just been a great experience to see SRZ just dive in unselfishly and say this is something that is important to us as an organization, but also important as people.
We do believe that it is our collective duty, our moral obligation, our professional obligation as lawyers, as human beings, to use our privilege, our immense privilege, and the resources that we have to help Greenwood access justice through the legal system.
This whole thing is bigger than this one case that we're bringing. It's about this real movement for justice.
What we have to do in America is finally have a come to Jesus moment. Have a day of reckoning where the truth be told. And I think what has happened in Tulsa, though, really sets us on the right course.
Justice for Greenwood! Justice for Greenwood! Justice for Greenwood! As you know, we filed the public nuisance case September 1st, 2020, which simply says a nuisance was created in 1921 that has continued and gotten worse each and every year, and we want that nuisance to be abated.
What makes this case so fascinating is that Oklahoma has a really unique public nuisance law, which basically says if there is an ongoing public nuisance, that there is no time bar on bringing a claim.
This is a great legal theory. This should work, and this will be the chance for the survivors and descendants of survivors of the massacre to get justice, which they haven't had for 100 years.
We don't know what all it takes to completely abate the nuisance that is here in North Tulsa. The nuisance that we see every day when we see that highway running through our community. The nuisance we see when we see on the south side of the highway, it is a first-rate city, and on the north side of the highway where we live is a third world country.
Just the wealth gap in this community that exists due to an event that we can trace. We know what happened and we know why. People think about it as being so far removed. It happened 100 years ago, like let's just start fresh, but you can't do that until the wrongs of the past are addressed. I feel like when I explain kind of the demands of the case to people, I think they're surprised of the reasonableness of what we are asking for.
Our defendants claim that we are asking to cure society of racism in our claims. It's absurd. We want the survivors and the descendants to have the opportunity to be compensated for the harm that they have endured for the last 100 years.
We're asking for the establishment of a land trust and give our dang land back. We want our land back.
There was a hospital in 1921, and 100 years later, there's no hospital in that community, in that neighborhood at all. There's no hospital at all in North Tulsa.
We want a hospital built in our community so we can have first-rate health care. So when these people talk about we asking for money, we asking for life. We asking for liberty. We asking for property, and we want it back because it's ours, it is ours, it is ours.
America is loud and strong when criticizing predators of genocide across the globe. Yet, our nation's voice have historically and inexcusably been silent in the face of similar actions that occurred right here on our homeland to Black people.
What happened here in Tulsa happened everywhere. White-led massacre also burned Wilmington in the same fashion that it burned Tulsa. In Durham, North Carolina, in Birmingham, and Boley, not too far from here, in Mound Bayou, the stories go on.
I stand here incredibly humbled and awestruck of the survivors and all of you, the entire community. We are there for you. We are proud to be part of this. We cannot wait to see victory and justice for Greenwood and for Black communities across the country. When you rise, everybody will rise.
I have waited for 100 years. We need this. We earned this. So, I'm waiting.